Hey, everybody, welcome back to another Project Sidebar podcast. Today we have with us returning guest Adrian Gannon, or not even guest at this point. I guess we should just move into the fact that he is just a member of Sounds of Stasis, as we've announced recently on our Instagram. So Adrian's with us today, and we have our new guest, Colton Adams, with us. So we'll be getting right into this, and we have a couple topics for you today that we'll be going over. So thanks for joining us, and looking forward to podcast. So welcome everybody. So today we're going to be introducing our friend Colton. Colton, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself, your music taste, things like that, anything that can help us to know exactly what kind of musician you are at heart.
Uh, it's a lot to soak in here. I feel like at heart. It's a deep phrase here. I'm sorry if I'm butchering this right now.
That's okay. No, you're good. You're good.
This is all part of it though. It's all
Yeah.
build up. Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess I've been playing music for a long time since I was I think I started in like fifth grade. I started like playing guitar, and
Oh,
then I
nice.
just like kind of taught myself from there, like piano and I messed around with like drums and all that good stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that.
Are you self-taught with all your instruments?
Yeah. I
Oh, that's
definitely.
cool.
Yeah, I took like a couple guitar lessons, and a couple piano. But I mean, for the most part, just like taught myself how to play everything. I don't know. I don't really like do too much like reading of music. When I learned like some piano stuff, I read a little music, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully, when it comes to guitar, we have the ability to just read tabs, and that really helps us from needing to know the treble and bass clef and staffs and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I can't really do tabs either. I mean if I like sit down and like really like look at it,
Uh-huh.
I mean I
Me
guess it's
neither,
kind of
Colton.
easy.
Me
No,
neither.
okay,
All
yeah,
by
okay.
ear. All by
Yeah,
ear.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's honestly the safest way to go about it. So, like, when you were growing up, what was the kind of music you would listen to, just around your house,
Um Around my house, like
or on your own? What was your
I feel
favorite
like
genre of music when you were growing
I
up?
don't know, but growing up like I listened to a lot of just like with my family, like I would listen to like like country and like just
Hmm.
like lame stuff like that, but that's not really what I was too into. Like just like from my parents, and
Yeah,
my
yeah,
parents both like 80s music, so like I
fair
don't know.
enough.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure like most people's parents were listening to that kind of stuff, but
yeah. If they weren't, then we ended up as messed up children. That's
yeah,
basically the
yeah, exactly.
idea. Yeah, you got to get started with the good stuff at least.
I don't
Um,
know if it was good though. That's the thing.
that's
I don't
fair.
know. I feel
If
like yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off.
no, you're good. You're good. Go for it.
No, I was just gonna say, I guess when I first started to get like into music though, like I remember in school around I think it was like fifth grade or something, I did this like project on Jimi Hendrix, and that's when I was like, oh man, this guy is pretty cool. And then like from there you get into like all those '60s guys like the Beatles and the Stones and stuff, and I feel like the rest is history. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. No, that's the right start. That's where you're supposed to go from.
Yeah,
It
I guess.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I still remember. Honestly, I think the first introduction I had to Hendrix was going over to your house, Adrian, back when you guys were in Florham Park. I used to give you guys piano lessons. So God, those were some weird times.
Really crappy piano instruction.
Yeah, they were not great piano lessons. I must say I'm a better teacher now, but not back then. Not when I was
Mary
like,
had a little lamb.
yeah, on a good day. So I do remember always walking into your basement, and there would just be this massive poster of Hendrix down there, and I was like, I wonder who that guy is. Every time I'd look at it, I'd just be like too afraid to ask because I figured I'd just get roasted for not knowing. But
Adrian's like, yes, you would.
yeah.
Back then, when I was a kid, I actually hated Jimi Hendrix.
Oh man.
Listening to, and then when I got older, I started listening to stuff like that. I was like, I was so wrong. I was such a bad.
The moment you realize you messed up.
Yeah, you don't want to ask who Jimi Hendrix is to my dad. You're gonna get like a 3-hour long
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured.
The history of Jimi Hendrix and modern rock.
Yeah. So Colton, did your music taste then change over time, or are you still more or less geared towards those styles?
Yeah, I think I listened to like a bit of everything. Definitely through like high school and stuff. Like early high school, I was listening to a lot of that like old rock again, like the Rolling Stones and the Who and all that kind of stuff. And then like from there, I kind of like I started to get into like some of those like modern like I guess like psych bands or whatever, like Tame Impala is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And those kind of guys, like I don't know, have you guys ever heard of like King Gizzard or anything like that? No.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I have friends who listen to him. I don't.
All right.
But I have friends.
Do you say that as in a bad way?
No, I think it's just I'd rather listen to Jimi Hendrix than the guy that was inspired by Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, I get that. But yeah, I don't know. So I probably like that kind of stuff. And then I'm just gonna go through all the years, so bear with me. And then after that, I feel like I kind of, I don't know, I go through a lot of phases. So then I probably like early like college was just like really into like classical and jazz for a bit. And yeah, I don't know. I just like to try to like listen to a bit of everything. And then my most recent phase has been like 80s like kind of like underground like 80s bands like like the Cure and the Smiths. I like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I dig it.
But that's where I'm at right now. Talking Heads are really good.
I was actually just listening to the Talking Heads on the way home.
Yeah, dude, they're so good and like so catchy.
But yeah, love it. All right, so thanks for helping us to get to know a little bit more about you. We had a couple topics for our podcast today. Our first topic for the day that we were going to go into was talking a little bit about our favorite instrument or piece of gear that we own, that we love to play, whatever it is. Adrian, how about you get us started? What would be your favorite instrument / gear that you own?
So as a kid, there's been guitars in and out of my house because of my dad. And it's out of commission right now. My favorite guitar to play, he had a D-Armond hollow body guitar with a Bigsby whammy bar on it. And that, as far as gear, was pretty cool to play with because it was like very B.B. King style. But as far as gear, I mean, that's like a instrument, but gear, we got a lot of cool pedals. My favorite pedal to probably mess around with is the wah pedal because it's like, it's difficult to learn it, but because you're having to constantly move the pedal back and forth to get the vibrato going of the wah, but it's a cool piece of equipment to work with. It's fun. It's very funky. Or if, I don't know if you guys listen to Stevie Ray Vaughan, but he's done some cool stuff with the, going back and forth between the whammy bar and the wah pedal. You can get some cool sounds. So that's probably my favorite piece of gear, quote unquote.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think the only song I know that like religiously uses a wah would be it's Uprising by Muse. That's like the only song that I know that really, really gets into it. Outside of that, I could not give you a name. And
Really?
every time I see people try to play the solos there, I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you moving so much?
Beverly Hills by Weezer uses a wah pedal.
Yeah, that's right. Oh
A lot
my
of Hendrix
gosh.
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Hendrix really gets into it. I mean, I honestly, I think I know. Say again?
I said Voodoo Child.
Yeah, exactly.
In there.
True, man. Yeah, I guess I was.
I mean, to say what was my favorite piece of gear is kind of like there's just so many different pedals my dad has passed down to me. He's got a looping pedal, which is fun because you can play rhythm, loop it, and then just play lead over that.
Yeah.
My brother's favorite piece of gear right now is my dad has a green overdrive pedal, and he'll plug his SG into the overdrive pedal and then into the Princeton reverb amp. He's got a 1969 Princeton reverb.
So jealous.
Yeah. Yes, it's a very nice. Yeah, that's like really cool sounds that you get like his guitar through that amp with that pedal kind of reminds me of the Clash a little bit.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like the Clash.
There should I go?
There you go. Nice.
It imitates that song very nicely with that.
Wait, sorry, which song did you say?
Should I stay or should I go?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we got cool different gear here and there. I got to remember because over the years we had a Rhodes electric piano, which was
Are
pretty.
you serious? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we
See,
got.
now that's like top of the line stuff. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
we got rid of that years ago, and then we had an org. What was? I think it was a Roland organ with a Leslie.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's
You took the
awesome.
picture by that day.
Yeah. Wow.
Got rid of that a
Dude.
while ago, but we've had gear over the years that's come and gone, and it's just fun to mess around with different stuff. I mean, I'm not really proficient on keyboard, but definitely it was cool to mess around with the Leslie.
It's
Yeah,
the benefit of having a family full of musicians.
Oh yeah, we have all kinds of percussive gear that my dad has. He's got something called a rattlesnake, which is I mean, that's probably used in like one song ever. But still, he's got all kinds of percussive gear. My brother is the big drummer in the house, so he's got a lot of gear too. But yeah, I mean, gear is important, but it doesn't replace talent, you know. But it definitely can boost, how you sound for sure.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite piece of gear, I'm gonna lock it in and probably say, probably the Rhodes was probably the coolest piece of gear we've ever had.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna have to agree on that one.
Yeah, I don't know when we got rid of it. It was nice. It had like weighted keys on it too. It was
Oh, really? Nice.
really cool.
It was gorgeous. I loved that.
What color was it?
It was black.
Just black one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
They have like those ringing and stuff.
awesome.
Yeah.
It sounded awesome. And then my dad's organ was like a mahogany color. It was wood.
Yeah.
Like old school. I don't even know where he must have gotten that at like some old church or something.
Yeah. I used to have this one like old organ that was pretty cool, but it was like out of tune, so like I got rid of it. But it was like awesome like that. Like it was this big old like wooden organ. Sounded really
That's awesome. Nice.
We've had countless instruments in and out of our house.
Yeah.
So thank you, Adrian. Yeah, honestly, that keyboard was just fantastic. So Colton, your turn. You're up. What would be your favorite piece of gear, whether that's past, present?
I'm really bad at picking favorites, so bear with me.
All right.
I like Adrian said, like I've had like a lot of different, guitars through the years and like keyboards and stuff that would just like trade off here and there. Or, I had this one wah pedal that was pretty cool that I traded my friend for one time. So that was it's always a cool piece of gear because I don't know, it's just fun to mess around with that. Like you said, the wah pedal.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to think. I recently got this sitar, but it's not it's not a sitar as in like the Indian one. It's this like Turkish like cousin of it. That's pretty cool.
Is it called an oud by any chance?
No, it's called a sitar, but it's with an E instead of an I. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, me and David have had run-ins with an oud before.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
we're at a family. I guess you can call it like a family. No, not even. It was like a music night that
Run-ins.
yeah, my piano teacher had put together, and there was this guy who decided to come out and just start playing this weird round guitar looking thing.
Oh yeah, it's so
That's called
funny.
an oud. Yeah, and
Yeah.
we're just like, oh no, the dude with the oud has to leave. This is too much.
Yeah, I mean I bought it half out of like sarcasm, which is I don't know. But I mean it's still pretty cool to like mess around with. I also have this
sometimes
like
those are the best purchases.
yeah. This like wooden flute too. Wow, this is probably like the worst answers for
No, this is actually
music
interesting. I
here.
like this.
You know, I like to like I don't know, try to keep things spicy with
Yeah.
like music. I don't know. But yeah, that's always cool too. I don't really know how to play either of them, but it's fun to mess around with them.
That's fair. I
Um,
mean, yeah, honestly, the amount of instruments I've purchased just with the intent to learn and then never did, it's just endless at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And if I have to go like guitars, like I have this like knockoff Telecaster that's probably been my favorite like guitar that I've played for a while. So I don't know.
Nice.
My brother's looking at an Telly. I think
Yeah.
he's tired of his SG, and he
Yeah.
wants a good rhythm guitar.
It's a
Yeah,
bummer, though.
exactly. Yeah, they're cool guitars.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not-
Tellys are
yeah.
gorgeous, but I'm like still surprised that he's finding so much issue with the Epiphone SG. It's such a gorgeous guitar.
It's nice, and it's actually, as a matter of fact, I wanted a Gibson SG for my first guitar. I wanted it. I think it was mostly because of AC/DC, and then my dad took me to Finkelstein's as a guitar shop, and we went ahead and we bought my first guitar, which was a Gibson Black Beauty with gold tune.
Oh man.
Oh, it was gorgeous, but
Yeah.
it had a faulty truss rod, so it never stayed in tune. So we took it back and traded it in for my guitar now, which is a Fender Stratocaster.
Right.
So,
I used to have
the Fender Gibson argument.
Yeah. I used to have one of those like Epiphone SGs too. That was probably my first guitar. Like you said, like AC/DC, probably listening to that kind of stuff, you know, too, like early on.
Yeah, I like the shape of the body. They kind
Yeah,
of
it looks like cool. Yeah.
like I saw the Stratocaster and I was like, that's so boring, you know? Like
Yeah. Yeah, I always feel like Strats
think-
are, yeah, like kind of boring, but they feel nice, I think. They feel like super good.
Well, after listening to Jimi Hendrix, it's like, oh, I gotta have a Stratocaster now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All right, so going with top instrument then, Colton.
Sorry, did I answer the question?
I'm trying to figure this out. Like, so all right, so we went through your current guitar. That's the Telecaster model, right?
Yeah.
So what would be your favorite then?
I don't know. We'll go with it. We'll go with the
Okay.
Telly.
All right, we'll go with the Telly.
But I mean, it could change in an hour.
Respect.
I don't know.
I feel it.
Some
I feel
other
it.
stuff that I like to mess around with. So I don't know. We'll say
All
it.
right. Yeah.
I'll
Hey,
stop
yeah.
talking.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, so as far as like my favorite piece of gear, unfortunately, I grew up in a musician environment. I will say this. So not really unfortunately, but my dad was a songwriter back in the 80s, and he actually had a couple things that were still playing out in Sweden up until like a couple years ago. He was still getting royalty checks. I don't know names of any of the songs he's ever done. I think one of them is called Perfect, actually, but I don't really know. He's just written and composed the music, but then somebody else sung it. But because of that, he and his five brothers, yep, they all grew up just trading in and out of keyboards, and it was just constant changing of synth sounds and things like that. And then by the time my dad settled down, got married, and I was around, most of his equipment was just gone. So I had to kind of start from scratch. It was mainly just kind of going over to Adrian's house that really made me get interested in anything more than a piano. Um, Although I will say that, I have, at this point, I have five guitars. Um, my Epiphone Les Paul being the most recent purchase, the Custom Pro. Uh, Gorgeous guitar, love it. It's fantastic. If you guys have listened to Echoes, that's the guitar I use for any of the lead guitar or soloing in the background. Just because the second I plugged in and brought it on that track, it just played so smooth. Couldn't even help it. My first guitar though was a Stratocaster. It was a Squire Strat actually. Um, Still my favorite guitar to use because it feels right in my hands. Which makes me realize I am definitely more of a Fender guy than a Gibson guy. It's just can't help it. End of the day. In fact, 4 out of my 5 guitars are Fender. So yeah.
Way more versatility than
they
Gibson. Kind of like a one-trick pony.
Yeah, they
It's
really
nice though. With the thing is that the main difference is that the neck of any of the fenders can be interchanged and taken out, bolt in instead of
yeah.
wood through. Your Gibsons have the wood through, which provides a little bit of a different sound.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, I take the same stance with guitars as I do with gaming consoles. It's like one is not better than the other. If you can have them all, have them all.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
100% agree with that. Yeah, so as far as actually my favorite instrument that I own, I do have to say it's actually a piano that the only instrument that has been passed down for me. It was my dad's, then it was his dad's, and then I don't know where he got that from, but he actually bought it used too. But it's a nice upright piano. I don't even know the brand because it's been scratched off after years of just destruction and chaos, but it has some of the best sound I've heard on a piano. And at this point, I have to probably tune it back up because I think it's actually a full step down, like
Definitely.
untuned. It's
Definitely.
it's terrifying to play
I've
because
YouTube that thing.
you end up playing it. You're like, oh,
Not as
I'm
bad as
playing. Yeah,
downstairs. The one downstairs is like listening to
no,
the almost.
that's the one I
Oh,
like.
that's the one.
Yeah,
That's
the one downstairs. That's it's my a black
Oh, man.
piano. I don't know
I'll have to
what
hear it
the
one day.
do you know how to tune pianos?
Nope.
That's
No.
fair.
I wish. Yeah.
He used to play in a band with my dad. His name's Nick. He's blind, but he tunes pianos. I'll give you a number, David.
I mean, I guess all you need is hearing towards the end of it.
I like to think that because he's blind, his hearing is heightened so that he can tune it.
There you go.
It's like Daredevil.
Yeah, he's Daredevil. Yeah, so I definitely have to say that's probably my favorite piece of or gear or instrument, just because piano I grew up on. Can't even help it at this point. It's been 17 years of playing and loved it ever since the first time I touched it to even today. There are times where I go downstairs and will write on that piano and then have to transpose it onto a in-tune keyboard. But still, I go down and write on it just because it just feels right. But yeah, so that would be as far as our favorite uh, instruments. Thank you guys for bearing with me for this topic. So then I thought we could go a little bit into our favorite male vocalists. Now, from here, this can be uh, really ranging from a million different people at this point because this is past, this is present. We're going everywhere. Colton, how about you get us started on this topic? Yeah, I know, right?
Could go for
Put you out.
go for years.
So tell us about your favorite.
There's like, I was thinking about this because there's like people who are good singers, and then there's like people who like influence your own singing. You guys get that?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's there's something else too. But yeah, I think like lately I've been like into like a lot of like Joy Division and stuff. So like their singer Ian Curtis is pretty good because he just like
Okay.
really like lets it out. I don't know. Have you guys ever listened to any of that?
I've never even heard of them, so I'm looking forward
All right,
to
all right.
hearing a song from
Yeah,
them.
like
You'll have to give me
yeah,
a list.
like late, like I think like late 70s, early 80s kind of stuff. Like post punk is the genre, I think. Although they kind of have their own thing going. But yeah, I like that. I don't know. Can I
Nice.
say more?
Please, by all means.
um, I don't know. Have you guys ever listened to like Genesis either?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like the early Genesis, like before like Phil Collins was singing, like there's Peter Gabriel singing.
Mhm.
Some of his
Yeah.
stuff's like really good.
Oh
Um,
snap. Yeah, you're
yeah,
going really back. I
I
like
know. I'm
that.
sorry. Maybe I'm going back too far.
No, no, not at all. I
No,
like
I
that.
listen to a lot of like old
If you're
music
talking about
sometimes.
1930s music, then you're back too far.
Okay, well, I
Yeah,
haven't gotten there yet.
yeah.
Just wait.
He's like, give me a minute.
um, um, like I also like I guess modern singers like I like Andrew Van Wingarden from like MGMT.
Okay.
It's like some
Wow, I
I don't
haven't
know.
heard anything from MGMT in a long time.
That's Logan's music, so I hear it every now and again.
All right,
Yeah,
fair
they're
enough.
great.
Fair
They're
enough.
great.
And
I
great
like
on bass stuff for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Nice, nice.
Sid Barrett's always cool. I don't know. He's
All
not like
right.
really a singer though, but another like one of those people that I think is like the kind of singing that like I guess would influence myself.
Nice. So overall, I know you said you hate picking favorites, but let's
Oh
pick a
man.
favorite.
Uh, I'll go with we'll go with Ian Curtis for now, but
All right.
it could change. Or David Byrne. I'm
Fair
sorry, I'm just
enough.
gonna keep throwing names out.
Hey, that's good. That's good. So I'm gonna be asking you later for a ton of songs from all the bands that you're mentioning and singers that you're mentioning because I need to probably refresh myself on most of this, and we'll be throwing that into the podcast playlist for anyone who's interested listening in today. Um, in fact, as usual, all the music that we will be referencing, whether it's bands or anything like that, we're going to be putting some songs into the Spotify playlist. So please, by all means, make sure to check that out as soon as you're done listening here. So thanks, Colton. I'll go next as far as my favorite male vocalist. I have to say, this was a real tough one for me deciding a favorite just because of the fact that um, I listen to post-hardcore music today, and the vocalists there are just insane. They're fantastic. Tillian Pearson being the top most recognized one. We've mentioned him before in podcasts. His vocals for Dance Gavin Dance are just out of this world. His range is um, a bit too much to be believable, I guess. Whenever a man hits about 10 octaves over what I can hit, I get scared. Uh, but
Definitely too many kicking the family jewels.
yeah, yeah. At this point, it's almost a little scary. But then my brain will always and forever go back to Freddie Mercury because there's when it comes to someone who I feel shaped the music industry as a whole as far as vocalist and his power, his range, his music ability, I really can't even see anybody that's on the same level as him. Um, his writing ability was fantastic, but then we're talking just about vocals, and even still, he holds his own. But I think for myself, it would have to be a tie between the two. Of course, um, Freddie Mercury for Queen, um, Tillian for Dance Gavin Dance. I think it
He's
would
got some
just have
good
to
solo
be.
stuff coming out too. Tillian does.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, Tillian came out with a solo song recently.
I forget
I
what
feel
it's.
like every time he releases like a solo song, it's like I remember because I talk about Dance Gavin Dance all the time around my house, and my parents are just never the biggest fan of like screaming. So for me, it's like I'm trying to like find the right songs to show them. So like half the time I just like show them like 15 seconds of a song where it's just Tillian's vocals.
5 minutes of gospel burnout.
And then but yeah, so I'll usually show them that, but then when Tillian comes out with his solo stuff, I show my parents, and my mom's like, oh, he has a good voice, but he sounds boring. Where's the other guitarist? Because Will Swan is just fantastic. He can't be replaced. Whenever Tillian does his solo stuff, he's not with him. So it just makes it makes everything a little sadder. But nonetheless, fantastic vocal range. The everything, the riffs that this man can pull are just there's so much. But anyways, that's enough of me going on my little ramble. Adrian, how about you? You go next. You're up.
So, favorite male vocalist? I don't even know where to start. To be honest with you, I would say Paul McCartney, but I don't know. His vocals are. It's his songwriting for me. It's his songwriting. I don't think it's the vocals per se, or John Lennon. They're great vocalists, but not like nothing to write home about. But right now,
Paul can sing, man. Paul can like really belt it on some tracks.
He can now.
Sorry, not to cut in.
The difference between Blackbird and then back in the USSR, very diverse. But I think my favorite right now would probably be Alan Stone. Very cool. Like if you listen to him, when I first listened to him, I thought it was like a new Stevie Wonder album, and then I looked it up, and it's like this white guy with long hair and a beard is singing like Stevie Wonder. So he is. I don't know if he's my top, but he's definitely an honorable mention.
Does he do his own solo stuff, or is he in a band?
No, he does his own solo stuff.
Nice.
But right now, though, I'd have to say that Anderson .Paak is probably like my favorite vocalist right now. And he just released.
And where's he from?
He does his own stuff.
Okay.
And it's interesting. He's a drummer. And he's a funk drummer too. So he's staying in the pocket the whole time while managing to sing pretty cool riffs, or even sometimes rap, which is really interesting. So he brings something interesting to the table. He just released, I think it's Through the Back Door by Silk Sonic is what it's called. And Silk Sonic is Bootsy Collins, who was the notorious bass player for.
Oh, is he in that band?
Yeah, it's Bootsy Collins.
Wow.
Bootsy Collins, Bruno Mars, and Anderson .Paak, which is just like, I didn't know I needed it, but now I don't know how I'm ever going to live without it. So now
the post on your story makes so much more sense. I remember you posted something about them a long time ago, and then you guys were talking about that band a little bit earlier, and I was just like, I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna have fun listening to it.
It's cool. It's like they call it retro pop, and I would say this is retro pop, like a hail to 60s and 70s funk, but at the same time they're Bruno Mars is there doing his thing, so it's not really. So it's interesting. It's very interesting and very genuine. So right now, Anderson .Paak is reigning king, but everybody is honorable mentions. Tillian, Freddie Mercury. Who else? I've actually been listening to more and more 90s country, actually.
I have questions.
Way outside of my comfort zone, but I've been listening to some of it, and it's like there's a lot of rock and blues influence in there. The song I've been listening to a lot today, and oh my God, I honestly cannot believe I'm saying this on a podcast, but I've been listening to Here Comes Trouble by the Dixie Chicks.
And he's on record.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Hi, Sarah. Yes, I'm sorry about Dixie Chicks all these years, but man, very interesting vocals, very interesting composition. I mean, just the harmonies and the finger style on acoustic guitar is impressive to me. So, and there's some honorable mentions in the country. Morgan Wallen's great singer, who's probably about to get canceled for what he said the other day, but oh well. Good singer. Yeah, Anderson .Paak, definitely the favorite male vocalist right now.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I thought we could take a little bit of time just to kind of talk about some new and upcoming bands. I know we've kind of already touched on this a little bit, but I definitely want to hear a little bit more about this band you were mentioning, Adrian. I can't remember the name. Supersonic, was that what you said it was? Or...
Sonic.
Okay, so one more time.
Silk Sonic.
Silk Sonic. All right, yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with Sonic the Hedgehog. Good to know.
They actually all dress like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Can we get like
split dressed up like a blue hedgehog?
Yeah, seriously, can we get a picture made like this? I want to see it.
But yeah,
so,
you got Bruno Mars on keys. You got
okay.
Anderson .Paak on drums, and Bootsy Collins on bass. Now it's Bootsy Collins is on the track for some of the songs on the album that's coming out, but I think he's more in a producing role than anything else. So it's really
so old.
Yeah, really.
And how is he alive?
He still can play that bass though, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Silk Sonic is for me. I don't see how anything else is going to pique my interest in 2021. I mean, Anderson .Paak, Bruno Mars, and Bootsy Collins. That's like nothing more needs to be said. But I would like to hear what you have to say about it, though, Colton.
Can I give like the opposite opinion there?
By all means.
All right, I'm sorry. I don't mean this in a rude way. I just feel like people have like done this like retro thing for like so long, and like even like myself, like I was into like, I don't know, have you guys ever heard of Foxygen?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah, like they had like that retro thing going, and like Gambino like had, you know, Awaken My Love and everything. I don't know. I just feel like it's been done before. And not that I don't like those sounds, but
it's starting to become cliche.
I don't know if it's even cliche. I don't know. It's just, I feel like they could do something else. Or even if, like, I think it's cool to, like, you know, take bits of the past and try to, like, you know, update it. But I don't know. I feel like there seems like a little too contrived. But I mean, I haven't heard the whole album yet, so I can't really say. I mean, no disrespect.
But no, I definitely feel that my first song was, I guess, in the clique of niche of retro pop or whatever. But I don't know. I prefer that over the trap stuff that's going. Like, I can't. I'm not going to get into the Billie Eilish discussion.
Okay.
She's got her own show coming out on Apple TV Plus, and I'm like, really? Does she need any more clout? Do you really need to point the spotlight on her anymore? I don't think you do.
Are they really giving her own show? What is that going to be about?
Like her origins and how she turned her depression into art.
Okay.
And that's like, if you were really depressed, you wouldn't be like talking about it on a TV show. Like, I don't know. I don't like when.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
It's kind of just trying to cash in on somebody else's misery.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
But no, I understand that people might be tired of it, but it's like, I don't know where you can go to like bring the old stuff into the future and kind of build on it without dealing with all these trap beats, which I can't even get into. It's too upsetting.
Yeah. I could definitely agree with that. I mean, there are some songs I remember listening to Emarosa and their Peach Club album. Cautious was one of the hits on that album, and that really brought in the 80s vibe into the post-hardcore scene, which is a real neat blend. And then all of a sudden it just kind of felt like everyone else was doing it, and I'm like, oh, great, fantastic. Why are so many people trying to get these same sounds? I have to say I've fallen into that same pattern as well. I've written myself a good couple 80s sounding songs, just because why not mess with a synth when you have the chance? But probably nothing that'll ever be released because I can't get behind it enough.
Yeah, I totally get
like
that.
David Weezer's new album they just dropped, surprise album. Honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about it, because I don't feel like they're going for pop. I feel like they genuinely tried to write it, but it's like every song on the album is a ballad, every song, and I'm like,
interesting.
that's not what I listen to Weezer for.
Yeah,
you know, So they're not abandoning because they sold out to do pop with their last album. What was it, the Black Album? But it's like at the same time they're not doing pop now, and it's a mess. I'm like, Weezer, you gotta like
Weezer's all over the place.
And then Medicine at Midnight by Foo Fighters, their latest album. I actually have not had an opportunity to listen to any of the albums so far, so I'm looking.
I've only heard.
Dave Grohl never disappoints, so I'm looking forward.
I don't know.
I'm
sorry. I feel like I know. No, I'm not. I feel like.
Hey, fair enough. Listen, man, everybody has
sorry.
their
I'm
taste.
sorry. I don't mean to like.
There is no reason. Explain why. What's your?
I just feel like he like I feel like he's that like one rock guy who shows up like at all the like music awards shows and stuff. And
that's fair.
Like
he's the only one in the game now. I get what you're saying.
I don't think he like represents rock well enough. Like
he's a little too mainstream for it.
No, like just the way he says he does. Like I feel like he'll like mention like the Beatles and stuff, but then you listen to his albums and it doesn't sound like I feel like nothing's like groundbreaking like that. Like I don't know. I really like in music. I like to think of things that are just like artsy. So like I don't know. I just don't ever feel like he has that element, which I guess maybe might not even be rock and roll. So maybe that's on me. But
I mean, honestly, I know for myself, like when it comes to certain bands, it starts to get annoying when it seems like they're making the same sound over and over and over again.
Police then.
Say again.
I said, "Well, enjoy the Police then."
Don't get me started. I remember hearing one Police song and I was like, oh yeah, this is fantastic. And then I heard another one. I'm like, wait, wasn't that the last one? What happened? How did we get here?
Reggae stuff.
Yeah, it's like this like not ska but kind of ska type style going on there, which is it always threw me off. Like I know like this is going to be very contradictory of it. There's a girl name is Taylor Upsall. She's been making a lot of music. She's actually been really hustling in the past year. Ever since COVID, she came out with like 3 singles back-to-back months, then came out with an EP, and then is now working on more singles. And it's just like month after month after month, she's just putting out more and more stuff. And when I first heard of her, it was actually going to a Paris concert. She was the opener for them, and I was like, oh, this is not my style of music at all, but the girl's got talent. And I feel like every time when she first started, there was a lot of songs that sounded like what we were talking about, just all kind of the same, kind of meshing in together. Thankfully, more recently, she has really branched out of what would seem to be her comfort zone, and now she's really getting some good unique sounds, and I'm loving that. So we got a good mix of different new and upcoming artists that are coming around these days. So it's pretty nice.
We got also on the radar. I'm looking. We got a single from Greta Van Fleet just came out. I don't know if you guys seen what they're doing.
Ah, man, that's another one. I'm sorry, you guys are catching me on a roll.
Here's my thought.
Oh my
God. I
God.
liked Greta Van Fleet until what was his name? Sammy is their I think it's Sam is their lead singer. But he says that Steven Tyler is his inspiration for his style. I'm like, dude, shut up.
Liar.
You're Robert Plant. You are little Robert Plant. So I don't know. I feel like their new album though that they're working, they gave us a taste of it with the single. It's like them coming into their own a little bit more. They're not really following the whole. I mean, there was a few songs on From the Fires was their first EP. There's a few songs on there, and I was like, man, that just straight up sounds like Led Zeppelin. And there was like songs that I thought were like, okay, that's original, but like for the most part, like straight up Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, it's just annoying, honestly. It's like because they already did that. Like I think the thing with music, like I like a band because they sound like themselves. Like I like The Cure because they sound like The Cure, and I like the Rolling Stones because they sound like that. But those two bands don't sound like each other at all. But like that's what makes them good. And like then you have like Greta Van Fleet, who's just literally ripping off Zeppelin. Like it's just
Yeah, honestly, when a band comes out with a original sound, that's what makes people want to come back. So
Yeah.
In other news, Neil Young, the dinosaur, has released a new song.
Neil Young, he's the man.
wow, where did he come from?
I don't know how old he is, but like he's old. Like I'm expecting to turn on ABC World News and be like, Neil Young, father of country funk, is dead.
Oh man.
But yeah, there's some cool stuff. I don't know if you guys know Wallows, but they're coming out with a new song.
Yeah, they have some cool stuff.
Their last, what did they release? They released a single a couple months ago, and it just was total crap. So
was that the one with the drummer singing?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I didn't think it was too bad, but I can't really remember it though. So
I think I have friends that are obsessed balls and like they worship the ground that they walk on, and then they're like, "Oh, their new song come out, give it a listen." And I was like, "Okay, even you have to admit that this sucks."
Yeah, I guess if a song's not memorable, it's not. The odds are it probably wasn't that great.
And a new single by Elton John, "Another Dinosaur." Like, dude,
where are
you are
like,
multi-millionaire. Still,
I was just about to ask, like, did he run out of money or something? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, so
that's kind of like my mom. She's a huge Springsteen fan. She saw him actually when he played his.
Cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
But,
he's
yeah,
cool.
I know.
I dig him. But you know, she saw him when he played. It was the longest concert he's done on record, which was at Madison Square. He was up there for, I think they said 4.5 or 5 hours, just
that's
all music. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, this man. And you know, my mom said he had energy all throughout it. She loved it. I mean, she likes all of his underground stuff too, which was kind of cool because then they started going deeper and deeper into the vaults of songs that they had. But when I saw him, he was in that the Super Bowl commercial. I was like, what? Why is this man still doing stuff? This poor guy. Just let him retire. He has to have enough by now.
Well, let's talk about somebody you don't want to retire, David. Here Comes the Shock by Green Day. Came out on the 20th of February. New single by Green Day.
Hold up. How did I not know about this? I'm so upset. All right, I definitely have a ton of music I need to check out after this podcast then. I mean, I remember
going down the line with who's releasing. There's a lot of Willie Nelson releasing a new song. He is dead. Is he not dead?
He's not dead.
I thought he's still alive
somehow. Oh man! All right, yeah. So we definitely have we definitely have a ton of stuff to go and listen to, and guys, we will be putting a lot of the stuff that we're mentioning today into our podcast playlist. I mean, of course, we're probably not going to throw Billie Eilish in there because even though we did talk about her, there's no point. But I think
a cover by somebody else. Like a rock cover of a Billie song, I would be okay with.
Oh yeah, actually there was a band, I can't, the name of them is escaping me. I'll probably put it somewhere in the description when I can finally think of it. But there was a band I saw recently that did a like post-hardcore cover of a Billie Eilish song, and it was just fantastic.
This one girl
really gave the energy it needed.
Bad guy in the style of this girl on TikTok did Bad Guy in the style of Eddie Van Halen, which is kind of cool.
Ooh, okay.
And then to finish off, this is the very last song on my release radar. To finish it off, Way Less Sad by AJR.
Fantastic song. Only thing that I have to say about that is a stolen piano line. 110%. The one at the very beginning of it, it's stolen from Simon and Garfunkel's My Little Town. It's the exact same piano line. I remember I heard it.
Bruno Mars has said this before. He said, the problem with the music industry right now is every rhythm, every chord, and every melody has already been played. So it's really hard to write music without stepping on somebody's toes.
Not the ones I've written. I mean, gonna plug myself here. Listen to my albums.
Yeah, actually,
they're all original.
Yeah, see that's the stuff we really want to hear. We want to hear the original stuff. But I do have to say, I've as much as, you know, because I grew up actually on Simon and Garfunkel, listening to My Little Town was like one of my favorite songs out there. And I remember when I first heard Wayla S.I.D.E.B.A.R come out, I was like, oh, that sounds really, no, they just took that from Simon and Garfunkel. But then at the end of the day, I still listen to the song and I still enjoy it because AJR is just preppy EDM, and I dig that vibe. But yeah, we definitely have a ton of stuff that's been coming out so far. 2021, yet another weird year due to COVID, which is why we can't all be.
We're only in March, so we have hopes for the summer. We have hope.
Yeah. Let's hope for the future. Get some good stuff going. That way, you know, we can start doing some podcasts in person. Be looking forward to that. But anyways, thank you guys for listening today. Colton, I know you said you had a whole ton of albums that you've made. So how about you let us know how we can check those out?
Oh, I have a band. Well, I've made a bunch, but then I've deleted a bunch.
Okay,
so that's
fair
probably
enough.
not very helpful. I have like one out right now, and that's
All right.
About it. There is one that I made with my friend Kirby. He's
Nice.
the man. Shout out to Kirby.
All right.
He's like my musical partner.
There we go.
We usually make stuff on, and we made like one record together too, and he has some good like solo stuff.
Nice.
I'm not answering the question again. coltsrecords.bandcamp.com.
All right, we'll be putting that somewhere on the screen. I haven't decided exactly where yet, so I don't know where to point. But we'll be putting that somewhere.
It's got mostly Kirby stuff and my
Nice.
one solo album and some stuff we made together.
All right.
So
cool.
There you go.
Nice. Yeah, we'll definitely we'll be giving you a little shout out on our band page as well. Sounds of Stasis, of course. You guys listen to Project S.I.D.E.B.A.R, and if you've somehow made it or come across Project S.I.D.E.B.A.R, there's no way you don't know about the band already. But if you haven't heard our singles, I'll throw it out there again. Sounds of Stasis, we have 2 singles out, Kaleidoscope and Echoes, and we have a ton of stuff more that's coming in the works. Then don't forget, above I have links for us. Should be, I think the correct order is Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and there's one more that I can't remember. YouTube. Yeah, all right. You guys are probably already watching us on YouTube, so you're all set. So those are our 4 links. You can follow us on any one of those. And Colton, do you have an Instagram that we can shout out for you as well?
Oh yeah, it's Brother Coke.
All right. Yeah, we'll be putting that on the screen as well.
Coke.
I do have questions about the name, but I'll ask you about that later.
Nothing bad.
Fair enough.
Coca-Cola though, right? Like
for real. It really is.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, listen. I share your love for Coca-Cola. Can we please get sponsored?
More of a Pepsi guy.
Oh man. Oh man, you just try to contradict everything now. I love it. All right. So thank you guys for all tuning in today, checking us out, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify. We're going to be putting up the Spotify playlist as soon as this gets posted. So link will be in the description for that. Remember to follow us on all our social media. And if you have any topics that you'd like to hear us discuss, please let us know in the comments. And even if you'd like to be on the podcast as well. Love to have extra guests. Colton, thank you again for joining us today. This was really awesome. Great to finally meet you in person-ish. Zoom. Yeah, good to finally put a voice behind the face and name. There you go. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in, and that's a wrap.